Hey everyone, it's me, Jess, and it is time for CW Chat. So typically we do a Flash chat, but Flash is not coming back till October, so we thought we'd give all the CW shows a little bit of love, and we're real excited about it. It's a whole new deal. Today I've got some great guests. We've got Kingsley. He is one of the creators of Ravenwatch, which is a Charlotte-based superhero comic and movie. It's gonna be huge.
You got it.
We've got Dave Harlequin. He is of Nerd Nation magazine. He's also doing a lot of the marketing for Ravenwatch. And then we have got Joshua Reed Davis, and we actually go by Just Josh, which is amazing because I'm Just Jess. This is Just Josh, and it's like purely coincidental. So we're meant to be BFFs forever. And he is one of the hosts, or he is the host of EyeCon conventions. So he's done a lot of Vampire Diaries, One Tree Hill. You are in it. You know
originals, a lot of CW on there.
Yes. Oh man, that's pretty exciting because I haven't been to his conventions yet, but I'm hoping to go. So we thought we would start, because there's too much coming out of the conventions with CW this year. Let's start with just The Flash, because that's what we all know and love, The Flash. So, who here is like a big fan of The Flash? Okay, we got all three big fans. What other shows you guys like?
I watch the Arrow also,
Arrow.
and the wife got me into watching the originals
There you go.
a good bit. So those are the three main ones that I would say that I pay attention to.
Very cool. And what about you?
I'd have to say I'm just a Flash and Arrow guy.
Just a Flash, but he's got a zombie shirt on, so maybe we can convert him to an
I think
zombie.
we can convert it.
I have not actually seen that yet, but funny enough, my mother loves that show.
Perfect. Very good. So we got at least a fan of iZombie somewhere in the realm. And what would you like?
Yeah, oh my gosh, you know, I have to say The Flash is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
I do love the Vampire Diaries and the originals. I started out, I watched the first season and they said, hey, we're gonna do a convention. I said, that's awesome. And then my agent called and said, we're gonna do some extra work. You know, extras just basically walk around the background, you know, and aimlessly. And my grandmother watched the episode and she said, you just look so buff. And I was like, what are you talking about, Granny? I was like back there for like 2 seconds. And she's like, so one of the main guys was laying there on the bed and she thought it was me.
Oh, really? That's awesome. That's awesome.
Sad to say.
My grandparents, I don't even think they get cable. But they're up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Bless them. They don't know. They don't know the shows. I say the Flash guys, you know, like the comic book, they don't know. But on to The Flash. So The Flash is coming back Tuesday, October 6th. And we cannot wait. I'm very excited. Last we saw, he was flying up into the wormhole. Spoilers, we've all watched the finale?
Yes.
Okay, so we see the Flash flying up in the wormhole. Rick Cosnett killed himself to get rid of Eobard Thawne. So here's a theory that I was reading yesterday online. Okay, Cobalt Blue, is anyone familiar with the comic books? In the like the lore of it, I like saying lore. In the comic books, there apparently is this whole timeline wherein the Flash was a twin and they gave up the one baby, Malcolm Thawne, to another family. He figures out he was actually meant to be this twin. He's a lot of jealous rage. He wears this talisman and he uses the blue flame of his Thawne family to enact revenge on stuff. Anyways, there's a lot of speculation that Rick Cosnett at some point, maybe not next season, but after that, could come back as this Cobalt Blue character. Do you guys think we'll see him back as a main? He's not supposed to be a main character next season. What do you think?
Possible, but I don't know. With the whole wormhole and all that, I'm wondering if we're not going to go into the Flashpoint paradox a little bit.
Maybe not right away, but getting there.
I see that happening. Hopefully not that results in another new 52, but I won't go there.
I think the multiverse might be a bit hard for TV, for people to, I can barely keep up with it. I will sit there and read things online and kind of go nuts, but it's too much to keep up with it. So for TV, maybe they'll do time travel, but not maybe complete multiverses, like delving into all that. Who knows? You had a theory. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean
go
to.
ahead.
You know, one of the things I say is no one ever dies in sci-fi.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe.
Or in soap operas.
Or in soap operas, yes,
So
that's
these are
very
kind
true.
of like sci-fi soap operas.
Except red shirts.
Red shirts
Yes,
and Wash and Firefly.
Yes.
See, I don't know that. I don't know that. Right?
I'm a leaf on the wind.
Star Trek guy.
It's a Star Trek thing, yeah.
Oh.
If you see a guy go down to the planet side.
And you're in a red shirt, you're gone.
We got some Trekkies in here. I am not a Trekkie.
Well, I've got the Trek tattoo, you know, it's
See?
sad. It is.
He's into it. He knows. I don't, but there are a lot of predictions for next season. You had something that you were thinking?
I do. One of my biggest predictions right now is I think, and I hope at least, we're gonna see Killer Frost next year.
I think so.
I mean, we've got Caitlin Snow in the Star Labs right now. We've already, of course, got Firestorm, and I hope they even go into their relationship where they have the she needs to feed off of him.
Yep. That would be cool to see, and people love Robbie Amell. They love that character. I know we'll see more of him next season. The Danielle Panabaker, who was at Comic-Con, was quoted as saying that she hopes that we'll see more of Killer Frost. I know they can't say anything. It kind of seemed like maybe, they probably don't have the scripts far out, so maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she is coming at the end of the season, but it didn't sound like something was definitely in the works, but I mean, they have a costume ready. They gotta get some.
Oh, they've got to, yeah.
They got to.
Maybe that'll be the lead-in for season finale, is that we're gonna lead into, could this be Killer Frost?
Yeah. Could be. Could be like a kind of a change up of the personalities with the singularity. I think that's such a weird word that they're like, singularity, that's the wormhole issue. So they've casted Jay Garrick, who is a Flash from the Golden Age, and he's supposed to come in as a traveling mentor to Barry. So he's like kind of taking the place of Wells. And he's going to be played by Teddy Sears from Masters of Sex. I haven't watched that show, but apparently people like it. They've also casted Patty Spivot. It's Chantel Van Santen. I'm reading this, I don't know her name. She's supposed to be a love interest. She's supposed to be Joe West's new partner. Yeah, so that's like, they gotta quit with the love triangles in the police department and Barry. Like, it's a lot. It's gonna be a lot. And then Wally West, they've mentioned. I would love to see that. They haven't. There's speculation they might have him as more of a cousin to Iris instead of a nephew, so that he could be the same age as everybody. I don't know. Have you guys heard some of the villain news?
No, I'm not actually up
Zoom.
on that.
They're talking about Zoom's going to be the new big bad.
Ooh.
So he's supposed to be faster than the Reverse Flash and Flash.
Oh, that would be pretty big.
It should be cool.
That would be epic.
Another Rogue Mirror Master, and then Adam Smasher is coming in. He's a WE superstar, Adam Copeland. So,
Edge.
yeah, those would be good. Edge, I think
Very
that's
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna come. They're gonna have a lot of new cast members this season. It should be a big season. Some of the things we've noticed. Who noticed the new suits out of the Comic-Con? So I think what's different on the Flash's new suit is it has a white emblem, and even the logo for the Flash is white. Any speculation on if that is just costume design or what it could mean?
I guess in tying it into Arrow, the fact that they call the show Arrow right now instead of the classic Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, yeah.
I was telling Dave on the way here this morning that I'm hoping that what they're doing is kind of gearing things up to do Justice League tie-ins on down the road. On Flash, they've already shown in the police station all the Greek gods in a row that are striking very Justice League-y poses,
They
and
are.
whatnot. So I'm hoping that eventually we'll get Green Arrow, we'll get classic Flash, we'll have Wally running around, Barry, like all of them.
There's so
will show
much
up.
they could do. Yeah, they started the season so strong, or they started the series so strong, and there's, endless. They could go on forever with their show if they wanted to.
Exactly.
That's smart of them.
The more legal rights they get, the more they can
True.
bring more guys in. So
That is true.
Personally, I feel that just the CW should just take all of the DC properties, because this is just my opinion, of course, but I think that of all the DC properties in film, the CW, and I'm not saying that because I'm on here, for the record.
He's not paid,
it's just the
everyone.
truth.
I think that the CW is the only one who's really nailing live action DC right now.
I agree. I haven't watched. So the Supergirl promo, I didn't like it. I thought it looked like the SNL spoof they did with Scarlett Johansson. Do you know that one? Apparently, though, the pilot is good. I may watch it. Probably not, because I can barely keep up with our own shows. So I'm gonna go watch CBS. But so that's another DC show. I kind of just hope everyone doesn't do a good job with the DC shows, because I think Gotham's kind of fallen off. People don't love it as much as they used to. So I would agree with you, and not just because I am a CW affiliate employee. Do you think we'll see the cosmic treadmill used at all next season?
I hope so. Speaking of the cosmic treadmill, I saw Grant Gustin on an interview, and one of the things I love most is all of our superheroes are buff.
Yeah.
You know, they're these big guys, and he's like, you know,
I'm the example.
you know, you're my big buff.
You're
They're these
really
big butch.
sweet.
Yeah, I know. It's just they're all these big butch, like, you know, guys, and then, you know, you get a guy like me that could be like, I could save your life. You know, I could like throw you over my shoulder and run.
Yeah.
So, you know, I really do hope they use the treadmill. I think that maybe with the white logo, maybe as him coming back, maybe that might have something to do transition with the logo. I don't know.
It could.
But
I'm hoping.
Anytime you have wormhole stuff,
yeah,
you
anything
throw
could
the door
happen.
wide open to recreate whatever you want to.
Whatever,
So
yeah.
with Zoom coming back, I would find it hard to believe they wouldn't have the treadmill.
do the treadmill. I
And,
think it
and the
was-
Speed Force has got to play heavily into
Yeah.
what's happening next. They've only briefly mentioned it up to this point, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be a big season. There's a little bit of speculation. I think it's more just fans want this to happen. Do you think we will see Tom Welling at all ever on this series, being Clark Kent from Smallville?
I think so.
I
You
think
do?
it's possible.
Possible. I think if it was, it'd be something they kept under wraps so much that it'd be one of those moments where you're watching and everyone goes, "Wah!" You know, Twitter blows up. We had a lot of fun watching it. Oh, were you both at the finale viewing party at Heroes? You were.
I was not.
Well, you'll have to come to the premiere. We're gonna
I
probably
am.
do a premiere
I
one
will
there
be there.
too.
Cool.
And it was so much fun to watch it with everyone because people were yelling when the Jay Garrick hat came out of the wormhole, and it was so much fun. So hopefully we'll do that again.
I love some
tuned.
Heroes. I'll be there.
Yes, we love Heroes. We got, you can't even see our table. We got the Heroes Con poster. We love them. So Arrow news. Now, if anybody knows, I'm not quite caught up on Arrow, but I'm getting there because I'm going to Dragon Con and I need to know about it. But casting news, they've casted their new big bad, Damien Dark, and it's going to be played by Neil McDonough. I think that's how you say his name. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He played Dum Dum Dugan, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, in the
Captain America.
That's right.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Sorry. He was also in Desperate Housewives. And you know what's surprising? I've not watched those either. So I do watch a lot of TV. I don't know what. But Arrow got a new sleeveless costume. What are our thoughts on the sleeveless costume?
Like I said, I think they're hopefully they are kind of gearing up to make him not generic Arrow, but
Green Arrow.
moving into his Justice League persona, which
Okay.
has that as a, you know, normally his costume's armless like that. So.
Okay.
Can we get a CW Justice League show?
That was I know.
Please do that.
That's what I think people
Are the
hoping
people in
for.
charge watching this right now? Can we
Yeah,
do this?
I hope so.
Can we
That'd
do
be
this,
amazing.
please?
Is anyone
Please.
from the CW watching? Like, tweet us. What's it, Greg Berlanti? Are you watching?
Hi, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Justice League.
We're gonna tweet you.
Please, Justice League show.
See, I think I would prefer Justice League over Legends of Tomorrow. You know how that one's coming out in, I think, winter. I think a lot of people thought that might be what that was going to be. And I don't know. I don't think it'll be a disappointing show. I think it'll be a lot of fun, but hopefully it does it justice. That would be great.
Get it, Justice.
Justice. So Arrow's getting that new sleeveless thing, and then apparently he's wrestling somebody at some point in August. Like, I don't know if it is the
You know,
Edge.
I'm a martial arts instructor also
Okay.
by trade, so I watch Arrow for the martial art. It's not a special effects heavy
Yeah.
show as much as it is for fighting and martial
Really
arts
good.
type stuff. And then Flash, if I want glorious special effects, I've got that to watch.
The special effects on that show are like
amazing.
movie level.
They really are,
great.
and whenever Arrow brought in Adam, I was so excited, you know, and it was great because, you know, the character that played Adam was Superman. I was like, for him to be on the show, I was like, is he gonna have a huge part? I was wondering, and then that love triangle came in, and I just have to say I have the biggest crush on, I just love that it was, they did a crossover with the Arrow and the Flash, and so it's the blonde girl, oh God, what's her name?
Felicity Smoke?
Yes, Felicity,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Felicity. I messed up on your name, sweetheart. Please still marry
I
me.
don't even know her real name.
But yeah, you know, it's just I love how like her and Barry kind of. I was like, I could so see them together, and then you're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, you know, like then with Arrow, it's like I definitely like the storyline with them, and I'm pulling for them.
Driving
so.
off into the sunset.
Yeah, driving off in the sunset with that in the green Arrow mobile. Would be great, or the CW's Green Arrow mobile. You know, we could loan it to you guys. You know, we could
noticed
go
that.
for a ride.
I know, Stephen Amell, your face is on our van. He saw a tweet. Somebody from Heroes Con took a picture of like picking his nose in the van. I don't know. It wasn't us, but some viewer did, and they tweeted, and he noticed it and was like, "What am I doing on a van?" So
Well, that's great.
I drive you around all the time, Stephen Amell. You're
It
watching.
definitely wasn't one of my pictures, because the time that I got a picture in front of your van, my mother, who cannot, God bless her, you know, she's taking a picture. I'm like, Mom, take a picture of me in front of the Aero van. And she's like, it's on me, honey. And I'm like, you know, by that time, it's just like the corner of the van and like me.
So you have a selfie
it's
of your
like-
mom.
Pretty much, yeah.
Taking a picture of you.
You know, and I'm kind of in there, you know.
We'll go to
so.
the parking lot after and take a picture of the van. I drive that van all over Earth. We got to get Grant Gustin on that van, though.
We do. That would be great.
He's not on there. Represent, represent. We need a Flashmobile. That would be awesome.
Could you get a speeding ticket though? Like, I mean, if we had I think there should be a law. You know, we should be able to get there.
We should get.
You know how they say that if you drive a red car that they'll pull you
They
over
will.
fast. So if you've got
That's
like
true.
a Flashmobile, they might be like, pull them over.
Come over just because.
Just
Pull
because.
them over. We know they were speeding. They had to be.
It would be funny to have a Flashmobile that's actually like a really slow car, or like a moped or
Going to
something.
40.
Yeah, it's a
Start
Flash.
shaking.
It's like a little wagon that we tote behind things. So, Just Josh, tell us about what's going on in the EyeCon world.
We have so many big things coming up. I'm so excited because, really quickly, I host conventions, and the thing that I love most about it is we have people from all walks of life who come.
Yeah.
And they come, and it's like we're all sitting here together, and before the show starts, I'm on stage talking, and we're like, God, I wish this guy would shut up. Hey, I'm nice to meet you, you know, and, you know. But no, it's great. We have back whenever the CW was the WB, we had One Tree Hill. So coming up, we have a One Tree Hill convention, and we have almost the whole cast there. And I just want to double check really quick
Yeah,
to give
do
you
it.
the dates. But we have August 7th through the 9th is our One Tree Hill convention in Wilmington, North Carolina. We also have, if you're a Vampire Diaries and Originals fan, we have October 9th through the 11th. So right after you watch The Flash, come on down to Atlanta. It's going to be in Atlanta. Check out EyeConFLA.com. It's EyeConFLA.com, and we have all of our stuff on there.
And they have a lot of the celebrities from the shows come to these.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what we
know
do.
a lot of them. And he has a lot of great stories. Like they all seem pretty nice.
They are.
Yeah, you were telling us you know Nathan Bazolik,
Yeah, Nathaniel, oh my God, and he has a new show coming out on...
Significant Mother.
yeah, Significant Mother. I'm so excited for you, Nate.
Yeah.
I'm so happy because Nate was on the originals and they killed him off, and nobody ever dies in sci-fi, but you know, it's good
no
to
one
see
dies
that
in
he's back.
CW.
Yeah, especially in CW because you know they
Another
recycle
show.
so much. But yeah, I'm so excited because whenever people come to our shows, it's not just like a panel where the actors are on stage talking.
Right.
You know, you get to do photo ops with them, you get to talk to them, and all of our actors that come, I've worked with every single one of them before, and a lot of times, sometimes actors I've worked with in the past will just kind of do their thing and go.
Yeah.
These guys stay, and we're like, oh, we're not used to like you guys hanging out this whole time, so you know, we
Yeah.
have a really good time, and it's a good time for the fans to unite, so.
CW's got some good stars. They all seem pretty game. They're pretty appreciative. It's a good fan world. I don't feel like the other networks, their stars are as engaged. I could be wrong. Sorry, other stars of other networks. But I feel like CW stars are pretty, they know that they have the fans, and that's what makes them, and they like it. Now let's talk Ravenwatch. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ravenwatch is the first comic book superhero coming out of the actual Charlotte area, based in Charlotte. Got some cool logos. Tell me more.
That's our city
That's the city.
in comic book fashion.
So the comic book will actually feature the art of Charlotte. It'll be, you'll see the skyline, you'll see, it'll be people who live here writing it, all kinds of awesome stuff. Tell me about this series.
Well, Ravenwatch is pretty much a production of Sun and Moon Studios. We're out of North Carolina here. In conjunction with Triforce Entertainment, which is Nerd Nation Magazine, Single Cell, and 13th Floor EFX.
Okay.
All of those groups are coming together in order to bring Charlotte its first superhero team, really.
Isn't that awesome?
We'll also, of course, provide Charlotte with some villains to be fans of as well. But that's more or less what we're doing. And the show itself is trying as much as we can to use local film representatives.
Yeah.
So about
Original too.
94% of our cast and crew is from the local Charlotte area.
Cool.
And we've got a few people that are coming from Charleston and one from Atlanta, I believe. So we've got a wide variety of people, but most of them are locals here. And some of them are recognizable. Like there's a Elevate magazine voted our Director of photography is Videographer of the Year.
Okay.
That's Manny Mac Productions.
Okay.
And Kevin O'Connor was Actor of the Year for Elevate Magazine also.
Big names, yeah.
So some of the local guys people will recognize if they follow the film industry here locally.
Yeah.
And we've got those all on the show.
When can we expect to see either the comic book come out or some of the show?
We begin filming and the artist begins on the comic book. The artist is with Rebel Star Studios, William Wackless. He's a local artist. You see him at Heroes Con if you went, and a lot of the local conventions.
Yeah.
And he will start drawing the comic book in September. Our first film date is at the beginning of October.
Okay.
We hope to release the issue, the hard copy issue, and the online version, which has film embedded in it.
Oh, wow. That's really neat.
So you can click on panels. It'll come to
interactive.
life for you and have real actors playing the
Excited
parts.
about that.
And we're also making it a radio show through Magnum Productions is helping us make it a radio show. So that kind of like the old read-along books where
Yes.
it's bring, turn the page.
That's smart.
We're doing that with the comic book.
People are into that now. I've always thrown like a podcast in my car nowadays.
Yeah, so.
That's really cool. Where can people look if they want to find out more information? Do you have Facebook?
Yes, if they want to support the operation, we're on Patreon, and they can become a patron of the arts by following us on Patreon under Sun and Moon Studios. They can look us up there and find out more about the show. We've got interviews up with the cast members and things like that. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, Ravenwatch, at Ravenwatch Media on Twitter, and on Facebook it's just Ravenwatch Film, Comic, and Radio Show.
All right. So if you see like villains running around Charlotte, don't be
panic
afraid.
yet.
Don't panic yet.
The Raven will be there.
And then if you're like, I don't think there's a camera following this villain, then maybe worry. Tell us about Nerd Nation Magazine and Geektopia. I want to hear more about Geektopia.
Okay, I think I'll start with the easy one, that being Nerd Nation Magazine. It's, if you can see that.
News, reviews, and more by nerds. For nerds.
There you go. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's I've been a writer and been in like written journalism for a very long time. I launched this along with my partner Dave Ward back in late 2014. And you know, we just wanted to make something that where we could come together and not be limited by things. I believe at the time he was writing for a newspaper and I was writing like either entertainment columns or writing for a horror magazine. But we were like, you know, like nerd and geek fandom, it just encompasses so much.
It's a nation.
Yeah, it's a nation. I mean, we just really wanted to put something together, you know, that just kind of all brought it all together, and where we could just kind of like spread our wings, so to speak, and write about whatever we wanted.
And where can people find it?
That's at www.nerdnationmagazine.com.
Nerdnationmagazine.com. Very cool. And these Geektopia events, I keep seeing them popping up around Charlotte. What's the next one coming up?
The next one coming up is our second party. It's Geektopia Strikes Back. It's a Star Wars theme, obviously.
There you go.
We, myself, as well as a guy named Charles Baldwin and a guy named John Dondero, who basically encompassed Triforce Entertainment that he was talking about. We all came together and were like, you know, the one thing that Charlotte doesn't have is like a geeky nightclub party. Like where do geeks go to geeks go to drink and you know hang, and mainly it's just because we wanted somewhere to party at first.
I feel like that's my apartment. Is
And
a
we're
geeky
like,
nightclub party.
and yeah, it's like, dude, we put it together and we work with this awesome venue called the Rabbit Hole over in the Plaza Midwood section. We do it bi-monthly, every 2 months.
There you go.
And yeah, our first one, which I see you had the flyer for, that was a Doctor Who party. You know, the party in all time and space. And
fans of all the geeky fabulousness, you got to check out Geektopia.
Next one's on the 31st.
31st of this month?
Yep, July
All right.
31st. And yeah, you could just follow us on Twitter for all the updates. It's really easy. It's at Geektopia CLT.
At Geektopia CLT. Very cool.
And
Well,
Ravenwatch will be out there too.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You can come meet some of the cast and meet the heroes and villains and
come say hi to
find
these
out
guys.
more about that.
Well, you know, I think it's great because, you know, film equals jobs is a huge thing here in North Carolina, and I think it's great that you guys are bringing jobs here to North Carolina. You're working here. You know, I love that you have this magazine because I've been a geek all my life, and the one thing that I always say, and I sound like a broken record for people who follow me, but you know, I always say be who you are and embrace it because who you are is amazing. amazing, and I think it's great that we have people, like I said, from all walks of life and just all different diversities, you know, and we all get together because we love all these cool things, and it's cool because we're all nerds in our own way.
Yeah.
And I just embrace that, and I think it's great that you guys have this, and I'm excited because, you know, I live just outside of Charlotte in Lake Wiley, so I'm gonna come hang out and nerd it up. So.
If you need, you need him to be an extra.
Yeah, hey, I am all about it. I am there.
We always need more extras.
There you go. Oh, we're making connections here at CW Chat.
I know, right?
Very cool. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Keep your eyes on Twitter and the blogs for all the CW news coming out, the conventions. I can't wait for Dragon Con.
Dragon Con's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need new sneakers. It's gonna be a lot. Hopefully we'll get to see Stephen Amell, Robbie Amell. Then I think Daniel Panabaker and Candace Pett are also going to be there. So stay tuned for information coming out from that. CW, WCCB Charlotte CW will be there. We will. We'll bring you the information. Thank you much for being here, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
me.
You're welcome. See you next time on CW Chat.